Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this day. Another kind of foggy morning, but we'll give way to some nice sunshine later in the day. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. On our show today, we have Judge Ted Howard. Now, he is a sitting judge right now, but he's also running once again for that same position. So we're going to meet him, talk to him a little bit about judges, how they're elected, what they do that you may not know about, and maybe some of the issues as well. Oh, let me move here. I'm reading these out of order. I'm reading my order here. So let's go back to the top. Duplicate Bridge Club. We're going to have a couple guests on today. And, you know, they have just a wonderful group. And bridge is such a big thing here in the community. They always have some events and classes going on. So those ladies will sit down with Lisa and tell you about what's coming up. And Ken Post is here from Hearing Remedy, and he's going to go through some of the steps of getting a hearing aid, how it can totally change and impact your life in a very positive way. Then finally, the Laguna Woods Cat Club, and you got a cat? There's a club for that, believe it or not. And they have different meetings and groups get together. They also do some adoption services, foster care for the cats, so we'll find out about that as well. Now, as far as meetings go today, there is only one, and that is the third meeting in the boardroom. If you're watching this in the morning, it is at 9:30 following our program, so you can just stay tuned for that. You can go down to the boardroom and join them, or we repeat it later at 6 o'clock tonight. Now, let's get to the weather. Pretty much the same thing as I said yesterday. The difference is, I believe I told you yesterday, there's a low pressure system that's kind of coming in. It's dropping down, and it's got a lot of moisture associated with it. In fact, Northern California, Central California, the Sierras, all getting some rain. Not heavy amounts of rain, but widespread. So what may happen, it looks like definitely, and coming down to Southern California tomorrow, we're going to see a chance of a little bit of morning drizzle on Wednesday and Thursday, possibly even throughout the day. Now, it's really, for South Orange County here, for this area, it shouldn't be much. If you're going a little more northward into LA County, certainly the foothills and the mountains, there's more of a chance of that, but more of a chance of maybe even light showers. But it doesn't look like too much, but it is in the forecast, and the temperatures for those 2 days have been dropped down for a couple degrees. Then as we get to Friday and Saturday, things start to warm up, and I have 74 on Saturday. I think we'll probably see about 75, 76 on Sunday, so a warmer weekend ahead. Again, we're below normal because our normal temperatures right now should be about 76, 77 as a high. So it's kind of nice though. We're staying cool. It's still pleasant days out. And you saw yesterday what I call sort of reverse clearing. And what that means is we're seeing the beach communities, the coastal communities, clear before inland, and that's because of where that low pressure system is. It's more off to the east. So the beaches are clearing up nicely and looking good, and you can enjoy your day down there. Let's look around Orange County, speaking of the beaches, and there you are, looking down to about an average of 67 degrees for our South County beaches. And overall, yeah, as I said, the coastal marine layer is upon us and going to stick with us for the next few days. And a chance of some drizzle. Palm Springs, by the way, about 92 degrees, and that's normal for them. So just really some beautiful weather. I like it, cooling overnight. It's not really cold. It's pleasant during the day. You can't ask for anything better. Maybe a little drizzle over the next couple days. We'll see about that. Be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cart Mart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Cart here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cart Mart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
You've trusted the doctors at Harvard Eye Associates with your eyes for the last 4 decades. Now it's time to trust us with your face. Our board-certified surgeons and aesthetic nurse offer the latest in facial aesthetic treatments, such as Botox, dermal fillers, laser skin rejuvenation, eyelid surgery, and face and neck lift surgery. Call us today to schedule your complimentary cosmetic consultation. 949-951-2020. Ask about our limited time savings on Botox and dermal fillers.
Managing your own medication can be stressful. For decades, we have watched you stand in line at your local pharmacy and battle with insurance companies, all to be left with the difficult task of organizing, managing, and remembering to take your medication. AmeriPharma offers a new way of simplifying the lives of you and your loved ones.
In previous years, I didn't require any prescriptions, but now I have to take about 7 or 8 due to various conditions. It's a management problem. My nurse told me about AmeriPharma's MedBox. I switched over. Boy, am I glad I did. It's really easy to use and it's solved all my problems.
Get your medications delivered to your door. You'll receive your pre-sorted MedBox that easily allows you to tear and take the required medication regimen at the plainly printed date and time. AmeriPharma MedBox, the new standard in medication management.
Right now, I'd like to welcome Judge Ted Howard with us today. He is with the Superior Court here in Orange County, and he is the incumbent candidate for that same position. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for letting me be here today.
Yeah, you know, people, I think in general, don't realize that although judges can be appointed, and I think you were, but primarily they are elected as far as this level goes. Obviously, federal judges and such on are different. So a lot of people don't realize that, right?
That's correct, but actually about 90% of judges are appointed.
Ah, okay.
And that's because what happens is a judge retires, and there is a portion of his 6-year term that remains. And it's the governor's job to fill that term. And that's about 90% of people become judges through appointment rather than election.
Okay. Now, would that be true? Now, you're a Superior Court judge,
correct,
right? If there's a judge that is a non-Superior Court judge, I don't know what you call it, a county judge or...
We don't have those anymore.
Okay, okay.
California became a one-level judge as far as the...
That's good to know. I didn't realize that.
That happened back in the 1990s.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize that. I always see Superior Court judge, and I always think, was that more important cases than just...
Well, there used to be municipal court judges.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And the municipal court judges were amalgamated into the Superior Court back in the 1990s by court unification. So we're all Superior Court judges now in California.
Okay. And now you yourself, you were appointed, am I right?
I was appointed.
Okay. And prior to that, were you practicing law, or
yes.
were you a judge elsewhere at one time?
No, I was a practicing lawyer. To be eligible to become a judge, you have to have been a practicing lawyer for 10 continuous years.
Okay. Is that the only qualification? Beyond, do you have to work it for the prosecution office or defense? No. That doesn't just become...
10 years, continuous and good standing, you're eligible to be appointed by the governor.
Okay, and I understand there's a vetting process and there's different committees and the Bar Association all get involved, right?
Yes. First of all, there's a 74-page application you have to fill out that it doesn't count the attachments. You have to send samples of your writing, lists of lawyers that you have dealt with in your career, and they are all interviewed and investigated.
Wow. So it is a very lengthy process?
It took upwards of 4 years for me, just short of 4 years between the time I began my application and when I was appointed.
Now, it took that length of time, and does that mean that you, in the beginning, you sort of set yourself up to being a judge when the opportunity came about? Because when that one judge or whoever it was retired or whatever happened, I don't know, they have to appoint someone fairly quickly, right?
Actually, they don't. sometimes that office will remain open for a long time. The only
Okay.
time you see all the offices filled up is right before a governor is about to leave office.
Okay.
At that point in time, he's apt to fill out all the offices that are open throughout the state.
Okay.
But for instance, in Orange County, we've had as many as 10 offices that remain vacant for some period of time while the governor is going through the process of vetting candidates.
Interesting. Now, because, and I didn't realize that that percentage were appointed, does it become political then, as we've seen obviously in the federal level, whatever sitting president there is, and they have an opportunity to get somebody in the Superior Court or district courts, obviously they want to get somebody in that sort of fits their way of thinking.
Well, it's interesting, as I understand this, it's typical, right now we have a Democrat governor.
Yeah.
But not all his appointments are Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, when we had Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor and was a Republican, not all his appointments were Republican. In fact, there's a certain amount, there's a cooperation between the people who are close to the governor in each county that have the governor's ear, and the application of that to both parties.
Okay.
Or no parties.
Yeah, yeah. And so does that mean people in like this county who have the governor's ear may turn around and go, we feel this judge would fit our needs the best, or just have a say in it, like this is who we support?
A lot of it, we just don't know what goes into it. There is a regular procedure that is set up by a constitutionally mandated committee called the Jenny Commission, which has the job of vetting all judicial applicants. And that is a process. You get interviewed by a subcommittee, and then the subcommittee reports to the entire Jenny Commission, which covers the entire state of California. And they give ratings. They have 3 different ratings. Well, they have 4 different ratings, I guess, really. They have not qualified, qualified, and well qualified, just 3. And that goes on to the governor.
Okay.
Now, governor doesn't have to follow those recommendations, but they are made by that committee. It takes its job very seriously.
What method do you think is better, and as far as elected judges or appointed, and how do we compare California to other states? Do they use the same method?
No, it's quite different. Frankly, from my standpoint, the vetting process that someone like I went through 8 years ago is preferable to just elections.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, all you have to do is be a lawyer in good standing for 10 years. So you haven't gone through the process. People haven't seen you at work.
Yeah.
People haven't judged your demeanor. Judicial demeanor is a very important thing in today's courts, particularly in today's courts. You have to have a certain amount of judgment, and you have to be able to put up with some annoyances without losing your cool on the bench.
I would think that is something that is both learned and also over time with experience, but also that demeanor in some respects has to be there from the start. I mean, you were a lawyer. That's part of being a lawyer as well, I would assume.
Well, that's why they interview all those people that you've had cases with. They interview the supervising judge, the presiding judge of your court to see, is this someone who's going to fit in with your bench? These are all things that come through the appointment process. We are all re-elected every 6 years if we want to run. But you'll notice, for instance, in this year, there's just one judicial race in Orange County that's on the ballot, and that's mine. That's because the other 34 judges who were up for re-election, no one chose to run against them. And when that happens, you do not appear on the ballot. Now, that's different from political offices.
That's right, that's right.
So my 34 fellow judges are all re-elected at this point automatically without ever having to appear on the ballot.
Okay. Let me ask you, from being a lawyer to being a judge, once you got on that other side, was there anything that once you started being a judge where, you know, you had that experience of being a lawyer, and now you're like, was a judge seeing things differently? Was that hard, or seeing things more evenly instead of trying to be there to prosecute and or defend? I don't know what side you were when you were a lawyer. Now you have to be just in the middle, take it all in, and not, I would think one of the hardest things is not have that emotional involvement.
Well, it's certainly less stressful than my time as a lawyer. Now, I wasn't a prosecutor or a criminal defense lawyer. I was practicing in the civil realm.
Okay, all right.
So, but yes, I mean, now certainly I see people that were my former brethren and sisters at the bar who now appear before me. And I don't know, I find it very enjoyable. I actually have very much enjoyed being a judge because there's less stress. I don't have to worry about the availability of witnesses. What's the court's calendar? I have the court's calendar now. And I like it. It's a much better job.
Yeah, I guess it's like, you know, being a judge on American Idol. It's better than standing up there and trying to sing for all the judges. Now, a question that I have just in general, because I don't know the answer to this, as a Superior Court judge, and you're Office 13, just so people know, does that mean that do different judges try different cases? In other words, do you just try civil cases and somebody else does more criminal cases, or does it get mixed up? Well,
what happens is, keep in mind that Orange County is the 6th largest judiciary in the country. We have 120 judges.
Wow.
In addition to 120 judges, we have 17 court commissioners. So all these are judicial officers.
Okay.
And we sit on panels. I'm currently sitting on the civil panel. So I handle civil cases. And I handle what's known as unlimited civil cases. Those are civil cases where the amount in controversy is more than $25,000.
Okay.
There are other civil panel judges who handle cases that the amount in controversy is less than $25,000.
Very interesting. I didn't know that.
There's the family law panel, which I was on for 5 years before I went on the civil panel. It handles all these breakups of marriage, child custody, child support.
Yeah.
It's a tough assignment. Those are heroes, those judges that sit on that panel. There's a juvenile panel. There's a probate panel.
Okay.
So that's the way our court is organized. Now, there are counties in the state where they have 1 judge or 2 judges because of low population. There, the judge has to be able to handle all those matters as they come before that judge, be it he or she. So but in Orange County, because of our size, we are divided with panels.
All right, very interesting. Well, I want to remind people that this is going to be on your ballot. It's on your ballot for you people. You probably received it. And there's only 1 spot for the judges this time around, Office 13. I'm always going, why do they have the office number? But it is Office 13. And I want to thank you for coming on and telling us why you want to go on with it. But I learned a lot too. I didn't realize some of the things that you told me, so it's been fun.
Well, it's an honor being here. My dad lived in this community for over 20 years, and so I was frequently a visitor here. So it's a pleasure to be here today.
All right, nice to meet you. And I want to remind people once again that the ballots this year are heavy ballots. I mean heavy by there's 3 pages in there. And if you don't read all the instructions, if you turn all 3 of those in, and you should, it's 71-cent postage. So I want to remind people of that, because I don't know what's going to happen. Most people are going to put 1 stamp. Does it get returned? I don't know, but that's something that maybe they'll work out next time. But good to see you. We'll be right back. Yeah,
Dr. Christine Chung with 7-Day Dental has served Laguna Woods for 17 years. Her office is close, her staff is the best, and she offers great discounts for Laguna Woods.
I have been a patient of Dr. Christine Chung at 7-Day Dental for 15 years. She and her staff are exceptional.
You may know me from Village Television. I would not go anywhere else for dental care than 7-Day Dental.
7-Day Dental, simply your best choice.
Diane's Hallmark is a family-owned Gold Crown store that is much more than just a card store. Our women's department has apparel, accessories, and jewelry featuring Vera Bradley and Bagalini handbags. Our religious department carries many different Christian books and Bibles, plus a great selection of Christian gifts. Of course, we have a large selection of cards and gift wrap as well. Come in and experience our personalized service.
Did you know that we are living longer, healthier lives than ever before? And did you know that social interaction, brain stimulation, and exercise improve your quality of life? Did you know the Saddleback College Emeritus Institute offers 200 tuition-free classes to older adults in South Orange County? With over 30-plus locations between Lake Forest and San Clemente, it has never been easier to take advantage of your third active life. Sign up today.
Well, with me right now is Ken Post of Hearing Remedy. He is the owner over at the location that is over by Coco's.
Just behind Coco's?
Yes.
Hearing Remedy.
Good to see you, sir,
Good to
as
see you.
always. And today, one of the subjects that we're going to talk about is wearing hearing aids being more acceptable today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that over the years, people now have things in their ears, Bluetooth that connects to their phone. It's become kind of a norm, right?
Yeah, I mean, you see anywhere from the wired ones, wires coming down to the phone, or the new wireless Bluetooth ones, and it used to be you'd see people they'd have this one black thing hanging out of their ear.
Yeah.
Because I know people are they're like glued to their phone, and so they just have that on there all the time. So people are used to seeing that. It's commonplace, so it's a lot more acceptable to have something on your ears. And the other end of that is the hearing aids have also become much more discreet.
Right.
I mean, when we had something this large hanging behind your ear, it was much more noticeable, or something this big in your ear, it was much more noticeable than having a little
turn
tiny
these around,
one,
yeah,
little tiny hearing
ones,
aid.
yeah.
So.
Let's put this on here so people can see. You know, I remember a couple years ago, even 2-3 years ago, they even got to the point where it was almost just the opposite. It was discreet, but behind there, they were very bright and colorful because of the time so many people were wearing Bluetooth headsets that were that size. They're now smaller. They made them look that way, and people could have different colors and stuff.
You can still do that.
Yeah.
You have your choice of colors. I've had one person pick a bright red for their hearing aids. So typically, most people want them to kind of blend in, but some people go, no, I want something bright. There.
Yeah, I think it certainly does not have the stigma that it used to have, because, as I said, people are wearing things in their ears all the time. Not only just the small headphones, but the earbuds that people put on, where you just have something down, and it's just sticking down like a little stick in your ear.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks
all the different wireless configurations. They're just there, and people answer their phone, and it looks like they're talking to themselves.
Yeah. Now, tell me about as far as, is this a misconception that people think hearing aids will get you back to what your normal hearing was when you were 30 years old?
I think we've come to the point that it's very close to that.
Right.
And we actually have, the ones I'm wearing right now actually have a way to adjust in when it's very noisy to focus in on someone where you actually hear better than one would in normal hearing.
Oh,
it really tunes out all the noise around you and focuses right in on who you're talking to. And it's not one of the automated features of it because it's too narrow for kind of general.
Okay.
But you can actually, I can show you my phone where you can actually adjust
Sure,
that.
if you can bring up the app, that would be great.
Yeah.
Now, of course, so many of these phones have these apps, and maybe you can hold it out there towards the camera.
So you can see how this one's really narrow. You can actually adjust from a very
wow. It's that easy.
range. So this, right now, I'm hearing all the way around.
That's really interesting.
Then,
yeah, if you could just hold that and we can take a, that is really interesting.
And then you can move it in, so it's very narrow, and I'm just hearing you, and all the noise around me just drops down.
That's great.
So it's pretty cool that you can get that much of a focus on that, and you actually do hear in a noisy place better than a normal hearing.
And of course, that app is available for iPhone and Android
This
devices,
app is
right?
specific to this manufacturer, to Signia, and like Whitex has their own app. You can do something somewhat similar to this with that app, and other companies have their own. Every manufacturer has its own app.
So this is something when someone comes in and talks to you about looking to get hearing aids, that you can go over, here's not only the different styles to look at, you can ask them, do you feel you want to be able to adjust this from your phone? Here's the different apps that they're out there. Maybe someone just says, you know what, this app is much easier for me to read or use, and that could be the decision maker.
That's an issue too.
Yeah.
One of the other new things that's out is one of the things you hear, especially as you have more hearing loss, is your voice kind of comes through in a not kind of normal sound. It sounds like kind of boomy out. And the new Signias they have where you go into my office and we actually fine tune your hearing aids to your voice so your voice doesn't sound boomy. It actually does a separate feature that when it notices it's your voice coming through, it tones things down so you don't have that booming.
That's very interesting.
So it's just amazing all the different features that come out with the latest hearing aids.
Another question I have for you, is it common that people need to do both ears at the same time, or is it sometimes it's just they have fairly good hearing in one ear, not so good in the other?
It's probably more common that both ears have a similar kind of loss. They're not exact, but they're fairly similar. But there are times when one ear is pretty good, the other ear needs a significant boost. What we don't want to do is, I only want one hearing aid, but both ears are down on a point where they need that. So if we boost one ear, the brain's going to start ignoring the other ear.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So at that point, after a point, it won't start listening to that ear even if we boost it back up. So it's very important to keep at least both ears at a similar place of the brain. The brain likes to hear both ears. We hear 30% better when both ears are involved. So.
Interesting. And that's something that you go through when someone comes in and kind of figures out what
we
they
evaluate it. We're testing both ears independently, and then we look to see what's going to be the best for their long-term hearing health.
Okay. When someone gets their hearing aids for the first time, what's the adjustment period? And I don't mean just, getting used to wearing them. I mean fine-tuning them.
So we take about 45 to 60 days to fine-tune the hearing aids. So they'll come in for a first fit. Today, first fits are much more precise. The algorithms that the manufacturers use are much better, but there's still an amount of fine-tuning that goes on. So I'll have you come in after a week, and then we'll actually go over a little questionnaire I gave you to write some notes down from the week. How's this situation? How's that situation? And we take what you feed back to me and make some adjustments to the hearing aid. And we'll do that in another week, and we'll do that in a couple more weeks. The other thing that happens is if you've never worn hearing aids, you've gotten used to this quieter and quieter world.
That's a good
so
point.
your world is now down, it's nice, quiet. When we bring you up to normal hearing, your brain says, that's way too loud for me. So we inch you up. We bring you up slowly, so your brain gets used to this level, and then we bring you up a little bit more, and then it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get you up to where your prescription is for your hearing.
Okay, and I would assume during that time you encourage the individual to go out and do things that they would normally do. Go out to dinner, go take a walk on the beach if that's something they like to do, and put themselves in different situations to really get a feel of it.
Right, because we want the feedback of how well it worked in that situation, because we can adjust per situation. There's 9 situations in a lot of these hearing aids. We can take each little situation and make it better for you. If you're saying I'm having trouble hearing in a car, I can do and adjust it for the car.
All right, very good. Well, if you want to find out more about hearing aids, all the different varieties, the apps, Ken can certainly help you. Hearing Remedy is located right by Coco's. And what's the, is it Carlotta?
Yeah,
Avenida de Carlotta. The phone number is 949-340-8438. You can go online to Hearing Remedy and just put Hearing Remedy Laguna Hills. That gets you right there, and you'll get on there. Yeah.
Gets us there.
Yep, hearingremedy.com. You can just go right to there. I have it right there, as a matter of fact. All right. Good to see you, Ken, as always. Take care. We'll be back.
Okay.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru, more Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
Remember the good old days when neighbors helped neighbors with everyday chores? Here in Laguna Woods, those days are back, thanks to neighboring. If you got chores around the house like moving, cleaning, organizing messy areas, or need help with your iPhone or technology devices, our background check college students can help you with it all and more.
Hire a background check college student today. Call us at 949-322-4923 and start neighboring today.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
Get out and live your life with the Buzz Around XL travel scooter from Golden. The Buzz Around is fun to drive with a tight indoor turning radius so you can go just about anywhere. It's also so easy to charge and offers all-day range so you can go further. The Buzz Around even has more leg and foot room for all-day driving comfort. Be safe with the XL's ultra-bright LED headlight. Plus, the Buzz Around XL can be easily taken apart into several lightweight pieces. See for yourself just how easy and affordable mobility freedom can be.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village television. Grease for peace.
Bought a house then and there, and then had to go back to Connecticut and sell one.
Hi, welcome back. Well, we have Jack Schwab here with the Duplicate Bridge Club, and he's going to share with us some upcoming events that are going to benefit some charities. Well, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So we were just talking beforehand, and you're sort of a transplant from Connecticut. We were talking about how you like Laguna Woods. You've been here about 3 years.
Yes, I love California. Love Laguna. I like the weather in particular.
Well, yes, we do too. A little gloomy today, but it will get nicer later.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's talk a little bit about the Duplicate Bridge Club. How is it? Is it just a bridge club, or why do we call it Duplicate?
You call it duplicate because it's different from what we party or contract bridge.
Okay.
In duplicate, you have more rules, and you have bidding boxes, rather than in your regular one. You'd sit there and you'd say, well, I bid one club, and this person does something else. Okay. Whereas in duplicate bridge, you're not allowed to talk.
No talking.
Well,
for how long?
You can't talk about the bridge. You don't say one club. You have a card in your bidding box, and you just pull one out and you put it down, and that's how you bid. So there's no, I guess, no inflection in the voice or whatever on the thing like that. It's not that much. But in between, well, I don't know. I'm a B player, not an A player.
Okay.
So in the B, we do talk at the table. I don't know. The A players they're in a different world.
They might be more serious.
They're
than
more
the B
serious
players.
on it, right?
How many people are in the bridge club?
That I couldn't give you. I can tell you that on a given day, we'll probably in the afternoon we'll probably play like 30 to 40 tables.
Okay. Oh, we're looking at it now. Okay.
And that's you know, four to a table. So you're talking 100, 150 people.
So that's a pretty good turnout then.
Yeah.
Is it just once a week?
No.
Oh.
It's Monday through Saturday.
Oh boy.
Okay, and sometimes on Sunday.
Sunday
are usually team games.
Oh, and do they usually have the same people that come Monday through Friday, or is it different people that come?
No, it's different people. It's set up, structured so that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they do what they call a 0 to 500 game.
Okay.
Which is 0 to 500 points, and then you have your open section, which goes all week, which anyone can go on that, even those that are in the 0 to 500 bracket.
Okay.
And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, it's from 0 to 750.
Okay.
And then the open game goes along with that.
Now, what if you've never played duplicate bridge before? What do you recommend?
Well, when I came out here, I never had played duplicate bridge. I had played bridge.
Okay.
I played bridge, but I hadn't played bridge since I was in college, which was a year or two ago.
Yeah, really.
Right? So what I did is they had an introductory class on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I went to an introductory class, once or twice and stuff like that, and I played in that, and I saw the bidding, and I bought a book, and read the book,
Perfect.
and
then you are.
Then I've been playing it.
Oh, that's
And
great.
my wife was about the same way.
Okay.
She had played in college. She hadn't played. I played much more serious in college than she did. I had played a lot of bridge back then.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think I went to college or
you
grad
just
school.
played
Grad
cards.
school, that's what I majored in, was bridge, which I think is what a lot of people do.
Well, that's cool. And I'm glad that they have classes for beginners too, because I'm sure there's a lot of new people that like to learn.
They do a lot of where they start trying to bring in people. They do a bridge in a day. In fact, the lady over makeup was in that, and since your father plays, you can join.
Oh, I could, yeah.
Yes, you could.
Well, if I find the time, I will definitely take up some bridge.
Well, you can do Saturdays.
Oh, Saturdays.
Saturdays
I play tennis on Saturdays.
What time?
Let's talk about some of the upcoming.
That wasn't. You didn't answer my
I did
question.
not answer, because I'm going to move on to your program,
Okay.
so we make sure we cover that. The Larry Cohen program that's going to be on the May 25th and 26th. Tell me about that.
Well, Larry Cohen is one of the best known teachers of bridge, and he's also obviously a heck of a player. He hasn't really played too much competitively since he retired, sort of, from playing in 2009. But he still does teaching, and he does cruises. He does everything all around the world, and I think he's won something like 25 national championships. And
wow!
So we're very proud that we could get him to come here to Laguna Woods.
Okay.
And he's going to put on two basically full-day workshops, and that'll be on the I forget, 25th and 26th, I guess, Memorial Day weekend. And what he will teach the basic, the play of the game, from what we call the declarer side, which is the person who is declared who's going to play the hand.
Okay.
Okay, and then also from the defense.
Okay.
And then he has all the usual stuff, the workbooks. They'll play gameplay and stuff like that during those days, and it's two sessions.
2 sessions, right? And then tell me
But
how
you
long
can
is each day?
Go to one or
one or the other. Okay.
or two. No, you can go one or 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can go
Okay.
to either one. Some people obviously can't make both days on.
Right.
And they run about 6 to 7 hours a day.
Great, and he'll be running the whole thing.
He runs the whole thing.
Okay, that sounds great. And then let's talk about another event you have coming up, which you call the longest day event on
One thing I also forgot on
yes.
that, on the Saturday of that, of the Larry Cohn thing, we will still be running our regular bridge game in the other room.
Okay, so you could either choose the Larry Cohen event or you could still play bridge on your regular day.
If someone doesn't want to go to the Larry Cohn event and they want to play bridge, we'll be available for bridge.
Okay,
Right.
good. And then the longest day event on June 21st. Now you actually said that's multiple days, not just the one day.
Right.
Okay.
That's kind of what we did is we combined our holiday or the charity games. Okay. Into a three-day event. We've always done. Laguna Woods Bridge Club actually initiated the longest day thing, and then it was picked up by the American Bridge Club, and now it's a national event. And this was way before my time, obviously. But it's something I think the club's pretty proud of that to be involved with. We structured this thing in a couple of different ways. People are looking for when you're giving Alzheimer's is a great thing to be contributing to.
Right.
And what we like to do at Laguna Woods Bridge Club is to make sure that it's structured so that we also give not just to the national one, but to the local Alzheimer's.
Right.
So what we've got this structured this year is that on Tuesday and Wednesday, okay, all of the donations and stuff like that, that's going to go to the local one. Or the longest day, which is the official one, which is the 21st on the thing, all of that money goes through the ABCL to Alzheimer's.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
So
that's great.
It's different, but it is something people, particularly when you get into some place like Laguna Woods, an older community, and we look and they want to say, "Well, we're paying extra money. What do we do that for?"
Right.
Well, you're doing that basically for the Alzheimer's. It's not going into someone's pocket.
Right. Now, I know that you had mentioned that there were a couple of other things that you wanted to talk about from the board meeting, but we are out of time. So would they be able to find out that information on the website?
They will, but I can be very quick.
Sure.
Okay. On the 25th, we're going to start doing, and this will be on the 9th of June, we're going to start having a pizza party every Saturday with the Saturday game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there'll be food included.
So there's food included, okay.
Right.
Very important.
And I should have also mentioned that on Larry Cohn, that there is
there's food
included.
Okay.
And the other one, they can check on the website, but I know that they haven't confirmed it, so they're working on a very, very special thing, perhaps for June 8th.
Okay.
Okay, which will involve another world-class bridge talent, maybe of the same caliber as Larry Cohn.
Okay, so
it's
food
very
and
impressive.
Special events. Well, those are very important things to mention. So thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting
and
you
good
too.
luck with your events.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And if you all have questions about upcoming events or want to be part of the Duplicate Bridge Club, you can go to lagunabridge.com. We'll be right back after this. Thank you.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks. damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
I'm Dr. Trin. You may know me from Memorial Care, Alzheimer's Orange County, and Irvine Clinical Research. Alzheimer's is the third leading cause of death in Orange County. The problem is, we're making this diagnosis way too late, after the damage is done. We don't want to wait for this to happen. We want to catch this early. Please come see me for a free consultation and discuss ways to minimize your risk for Alzheimer's disease.
When you travel with AAA, you get more than a vacation. You get exclusive AAA member benefits, special offers on unforgettable experiences, and the travel planning knowledge of your own AAA travel agent. When you travel with AAA, you get the vacation of your dreams. To save on a pleasant holidays vacation, visit your local AAA travel agent today.
Oh, welcome back. All right, well, we have some very excited ladies here today to talk about the Cat Club. We have Pat Wilkinson and Beverly Elwell. Is that correct how I said that?
That's correct.
Good, good. Well, thanks, ladies, for coming. I know we're all very excited to talk about the Cat Club. I've had a cat, and my cat lasted like 18 years, so excited.
18? You must have taken great care of that kitty.
She was just the best cat ever. So tell me a little bit about the Cat Club, how it started.
Well, the Cat Club has been around since 1971. Jacqueline Loom was the first president. She unfortunately passed away in 1997, and we don't have as much information about her as we'd like, so if anybody out there has information, right, we'd love to hear about it. But so we've been going strong. We're a mighty little band of volunteers whose goal is to really promote the welfare of cats and all animals, specifically in Laguna Woods. Last year, we adopted out 50 cats.
Wow.
Yes, and since, let's see, 2011, we're close to 600.
Wow.
And we have found loving permanent homes for those kitties. So we're quite proud of that.
That's a lot of cats. And where do you get most of these cats?
Most of the cats come, unfortunately, from owners who are deceased.
Okay.
Or they have come to a point in their lives where they can no longer care for their kitties, and they are looking for a safe, permanent home for them. And so that's really how we acquire most of our kitties.
Okay. And then, you know, how about the club's mission? I mean, obviously it's to find loving homes, but, you know, there's a lot of other things that you do.
Oh my goodness, yes. We try to be a major resource for people in Laguna Woods regarding animal welfare.
Okay.
We support other animal welfare groups. We recently had the Humane Society of the United States, and our members helped them gather the 600,000 signatures that they needed to promote their farm animal initiative.
Wow.
Yes, and it looks like it's going on the ballot now, so we've been very successful. We support our sister organizations. We fundraise. The club is the fundraising arm of our organization.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, our next holiday boutique is coming up November the 10th.
Okay.
And the money that we raise goes to our foster and adoption program, which is our public service component of the club.
Right.
And that covers our vet bills.
Okay, well, sure. I mean, I'm sure you have to do that too, because you just never know what the kitties are going to be like once you get them in. Pat, let's talk a little bit about some of the cats that, you know, how obviously you find them from people bringing them based on what you've said. What happens once they arrive to you guys?
Well, evidently, a lot of the people in here don't realize that we actually have this
available for them. So when a cat comes up that needs a home, Bev is usually the one that receives the information, or Nancy, who is involved with the adoption program too.
All right.
So then we go out and interview the person who has the cat that needs to find a home for it.
Right.
And then Bev does all of that, and then I do the photography.
Right.
For to put a video together to put up on the website, and also on Pet Finder's website.
Oh, good. Okay.
So this helps people be able to see the cats in either moving and through video, or just to see them in different positions and different playing with toys and all that kind of stuff. It's better than having one static image of them.
Right.
So you get to.
Well, you must have fun with that.
So I do have fun with that. So it takes about 200 or 300 images to get enough for a 1.5-minute video.
Different than the trees.
Because they're
she takes a picture of the trees too, right?
Yep, treats, toys, and a lot of movement. So so it's a challenge, because the cats will do whatever they want to do when they want to do it.
Exactly. Very independent, aren't
It's been a great joy. It's been my payback for my Misty, who I adopted almost 2 years ago now from the club.
Oh, that's great.
One morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I found her on the website.
Oh no, you woke up at 4 and found a cat.
Yes,
oh my
indeed.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, we'll get to the photos in just a bit, and we'll talk about some of the cats that are available for adoption. But how about, you want to talk about the distinction between a cat club and the foster and adoption program. So what would be the differences?
Well, the difference is that the club itself is the fundraising arm, and the foster and adoption program is our public service component to that.
Okay.
So we actually have two components to our club. The club is a fundraiser, but it's also a social experience where cataholics can get together and share information. We have absolutely fantastic speakers, because our members are, I have to say, a very intelligent group of humans, and they want answers to things. They don't just, they're not the kind of people who say, oh, isn't that awful? Somebody should do something about that cat. No, we go and we do something. We go and we in there and we rescue them, and we find them wonderful, wonderful circumstances to live in. So that's basically the difference.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
We have a meeting at the second Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
At 1:30 at Clubhouse 3.
Perfect.
So.
Well, let's take a look at some of those photos to see some of the kitties that you have available.
Okay.
So I think the first one we were showing was Sammy. Tell me about Sammy.
Sammy is actually at the Orange County shelter, and we work with them when they need help finding homes for their kitties.
Okay.
So we try and do as much as we can to help them. So they're on our site and also on Pet Finders.
Right. And then you have another one, Tigger,
who is absolutely a gloriously gorgeous cat. Orange tabby.
Like a tabby, right? Yeah. Or is that a calico?
Well, he's more of a muted, I guess.
Very
muted orange.
He's
He's kind of a gray orange, actually. He's very unique looking.
And you took the photographs, right?
And these are his photographs of Tigger.
They look great. They look good.
And there's videos of Tigger too on the website.
Right, on your website.
And this is Rocky, who is absolutely a beautiful tuxedo.
Oh, it's Rocky.
Huh?
Oh no, it's Rocky or
that's
Holly.
Sorry
that's
about
Holly.
that. Holly.
Right.
Because Rocky looks a lot like
that.
Rocky looks like her, but so forgive me. No, this is Holly.
Okay.
And she's been in foster for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and but as you can see, she's just very gorgeous.
She is.
And this was taken at her foster's home. These pictures.
Great.
And there's a video of her up on the site too. So.
And that's on your website. So we do have the information for everybody on our screen, so
and
they can go to the website.
Those are the only 4 we have right now. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's all. Well, that's great. You guys have done
everybody else
fantastic
has been adopted.
job. We have some strange noise.
Back here's another one of Holly.
Oh, that's a great photo.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's lovely.
All right, so if they want to get any information about how to participate with the Cat Club or find out about adopting or being a foster, they can go to your website.
Yes, please.
LagunaWoodsCatClub.com, correct?
Especially if they would consider becoming fosters. We have a tremendous need for people to take the kitties temporarily until they get adopted, and it's a very fulfilling job. And we really do need them.
Okay, well, perfect.
It's a great way to have the companionship of a cat without the cost, because we cover all of the expenses.
Right. All right. Well, great. Well, thank you both so much. I really am glad we were able to talk about the Cat Club, and maybe next time you guys come back, we can actually have a cat come with you.
Excellent.
Yeah, that will be fun. I mean, hopefully they won't, you know, get too crazy on the set, because I know they can get spooked pretty easily, right?
They do get spooked easy. So
Okay.
Thanks for having
Thank you,
us.
You're
Lisa.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us. All right, and we are going to, are we going to commercial? We're going to movies first. All right, just wanted to check. Okay, so ladies, just stay right where you are. We're going to talk about our movies. We've got 12 Strong, which is with Chris Hemsworth, Michael Shannon, directed by Nikolai Fugelis. 12 Strong tells the story of the first Special Forces team deployed to Afghanistan after 9/11. Under the leadership of a new captain, the team must work with an Afghan warlord to take the Taliban down. And that's going to be on Friday, May 18th at 2. And that looks like a very good movie about some military folks, and looks very action-packed. And then we also have Paddington 2, which is about a darling little bear, a good old Paddington. Penn Wishaw and Hugh G., directed by Paul King. Paddington, now happily settled with the Brown family and a popular member of the local community, picks up a series of odd jobs to buy the perfect present for his Aunt Lucy's 100th birthday, only for the gift to be stolen. So it looks like that really good animated film there that they're going to have some fun trying to track him down. Monday, May 21st at 2 p.m., and both of these are brought to you by Hoag Hospital. Then we also have what's coming up tomorrow. We have Christine Darcy with the El Toro Pharmacy, Jim Frey with Emeritus, Karen Solis with the Transportation Update, and Tori Smart with who's the candidate for OC Controller. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.